Bam! I've got some new heat for you. And this one I'm really hyped about because one, it's inspired by some of my favorite works out there like Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you could feel that in the story. And two, unlike most times, this is a comic that no one from the fam suggested to me. I was actually hit up by the author himself to talk about this. So I'm really about to hit y'all with some new shit. With that being said, let's talk about this fire-ass comic that deserves way more attention. Red Rapture. One quick disclaimer before I begin. Though the author did ask me to do a review on the comic, just like with my Webtoon videos, I'm not being paid to say anything. All of this is my own opinion, so yeah, just throwing it out there before we begin. Anyways, our story begins with what I can only describe as a vision of what's to come in this comic. We see two godlike figures looking at some random dude like, how dare you enter here asking to speak to our master? Then the person who they're talking to, who I can only assume is the protagonist, is like, I am the man who was blessed above all men, but who was cursed to walk this cruel reality. So obviously our man has been through some shit. Then he's like, hear me as I tell you my story. And then we move a bunch of years back all the way to 2107 in Axiom, Ethiopia. Now that we're in the setting for our story, we're given a name for the protagonist, Negusa. Right now he's 7 years old and we find out that he's a smart kid. He lives a simple, happy life with his grandma, which is a giant ass red flag. Y'all know in these fictional stories, these characters cannot have good lives, especially when they're good people, and I'm not gonna hold you. Our boy Negusa over here seems like a pretty stand-up guy, so you already know the plot's gonna shaft him from jump. So we get details about his life, but the most important thing here is that he talks about how his family is a family of faith. However, he's always had questions about certain things regarding his religion, like why does God allow bad things to happen, you know? When a miracle happens, how do we know it's God? However, the biggest question he has is on the people that actually teach religion, you know? How do we know these guys are even credible? And I fuck with this part so heavy because being someone who was also raised in a Christian household, I can relate to this so much. I also had my fair share of questions, but just like Negusa, I was told, look in the Bible has all your answers. But being a curious human being, he's valid in having these questions, you know? So I'm glad the comic is tackling controversial, I guess, things like this. And I feel like this part also tells us what the theme for this story is gonna be. Like, it's definitely gonna have to do with false prophets and just the idea of religion in general. Not gonna hold you, kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan, but this is not the only thing similar to Attack on Titan that happens in this comic. Y'all will see soon. It gets whew! Anyway, after a normal day of going to school, doing his chores and all that shit, Negusa heads home and he remembers it's his birthday. Bro, how you forget your own, you good, Negusa? Like, what kind of problems you dealing with, bro? Like, you gotta be hella busy to forget your own birthday. So he's chilling with his grandma at home, but because it's his 7th birthday, his grandma's like, did you get the gift? She's really curious about this. Like, she's not only curious, but she's scared. So Negusa explains that certain kids, when they turn 7, they get something called the gift. Basically, they gain the power to manipulate the elements. And along with the gift, they also gain all the knowledge they need to control that gift, which is hella convenient, bro. Like, imagine if powers just came like that. Like, instead of activating your powers by like blowing up a building by accident, you gain your powers and you automatically know how it works and what you can and can't do. This power system is seeming hella lit, not gonna hold you. Like, I would enter this world. And at first glance, these gifts seem mad cool because we later find out that there's a whole league for gift or NCG users to battle each other and shit, and it's televised, so obviously people around the world like this, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Then I kept reading. So we moved to November 11th, and I knew some bad shit was gonna happen when they showed us the date, because that's basically the author telling us, this date right here, this is when shit goes off. So we see Negusa chilling in the library, doing what he normally does. And there in the library with him is his friend Subira. So Negusa, being the good guy that he is like, hey, you seem like you're not feeling too well. You good? And Subira's like, I'm not feeling too well, but I'm not trying to leave. I want to stay in the library and read these books, bro. So the Negusa's like, all right, bro, do what you want to do. But then she suddenly grabs his hand and screams, I don't want to die. Yo, Subira, let's talk about this. What's going on? And immediately Negusa puts 2 and 2 together. He's like, oh shit, you got your gift, right? And she explains how it just happened randomly. And then we find out that because she activated her gift, her father was trying to sell her away. All right. forget what I said about NCG users, because this seems to be a thing that you do not want to happen. No wonder his grandma was so freaking scared, bro. So our boy's like, all right, don't worry about it. I'll take you home with me and we'll protect you. But the tricky thing about this is that he can't have his grandma finding out, because what if she tries to sell Subira? Obviously you can't trust anyone here if we have fathers trying to sell their daughters for activating their gift. So with little idea on how this is actually gonna work, he takes her to his crib and puts her in their little guest house so that she can stay away from his grandma. But my man's plan fails immediately. The next morning she finds the girl, bro. I was really over here thinking we were gonna have a whole hiding the girl arc. Like we were just gonna keep on going back there, feeding her and shit. They were gonna have moments where they get close to it, like in Stranger Things. But nah, bro, grandma's on it. And to make matters worse, the guy who was paid to collect Subira just showed up, so now he's in Axiom. Bro, get this girl out of here, because this man looks dangerous as shit. So back to Negasa and the fam. He makes up some lie to try and get Subira to stay. But then obviously the grandmother's like, we gotta report her to the authorities then, you know, we gotta get the cops involved with this shit, because why would you try to sell your daughter for no reason? But then Subira freaks the fuck out and she's like, bro, please don't call the authorities. Let's just keep this between us. So now grandma, if Negus is gonna be smart as hell, grandma gotta be smart as hell too. She puts 2 and 2 together and she's immediately like, yo, get the hell out my house, bro. She starts yelling at Negus because she's like, how can you allow her to be here? Do you know how dangerous she is? Now I'm asking questions. What the hell is wrong with having NCG? Why do these people hate people like this? Then grandma starts yelling at Subira and Negus is just watching this happen like, bro, what's next? Is she just gonna be left to die? But then to make shit worse, Negasa feels some intergalactic hand reaching out for him, and then his gift activates. Negasa is an NCG user, and now Grandma Kun is stressed as hell. Now I feel bad for grandma. She didn't ask for any of this. And from how stressed she was about the whole gift user question before, nah, bro, it ain't looking good for the fam. So a few hours pass, and Negasa realizes that with his gift activated now, he could sense the aura of different people. But he can't read the words, which is weird because you're supposed to have the knowledge of how to use this power, right? Why doesn't he know what the power is telling him? After that, the grandma gets up and she's like, all right, let me go back to grandma mode now. I was wilding before. We gotta solve this situation. She pats Subira and she's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna sell you. This is the plan. Negusa, get your things, get dressed. We are getting y'all kids out of here. Now I'm guessing she's trying to send them to New Iden because I remember Negasa mentioning that if he got a gift, that all he would have to do was just go to New Iden and everything will be fine. Meanwhile, as this is going on, we go back to Subira's house. I guess because Subira wasn't there, this man killed the father. Somebody stop this dude, bro. He is not, no. Keep this man away from these children. Hours later, we see grandma on the phone talking to somebody, basically the people they're supposed to rendezvous with to get to New Iden. But then crazy murderer dude fucking finds them and starts attacking them out of nowhere. First, he goes after the grandma, and Negasa tries to stop him, so he kicks this child straight in his chest. This man does not give a fuck about kids, bro. Throw this man away. Poor Subira tries to do something, but she can't. All she can is like earthbend a little rock, so that's done. Then out of nowhere, Purple Lance almost skewers this murderer dude. And then we see 2 of the most dripped out people show up. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. This is the fits we gotta look forward to for the rest of this comic. I am 100% down. Fits are very important to me. The drip is very important when it comes to these stories. So to have these guys looking like this, I'm so down for it. So then murderer dude is like, so who might you guys be? And then my man with the fire ass braids is like, fool around and find out. Yo, best way to enter a situation, bro. Best first words ever. So the dude with the purple lances fights the crazy murderer guy. By the way, these guys are known as Med Jays. But with this, we're treated to our first fight, and bro, these powers look really cool. I like what these guys are able to do with them, and it gets me curious on how Negus is gonna grow, because I'm guessing after all this, he's gonna train with his powers and stuff. He's gonna find out what he's capable of. And with Negusa being so smart, I'm curious to see what he plans on making happen with his powers. Especially because with what I can tell, while a lot of these guys can use multiple elements, their creativity decides on how they use it. So like the purple Medjay dude that came out like Tekkaman Blade, and that to me is already dope as shit. So I really hope our boy Negusa also gets a Gundam power suit or a fucking Power Ranger power suit or some shit. But the fight gets cut short when murderer dude's like, wait a minute, bro, we're fighting for no reason. I'm only here to get the girl. Technically speaking, the contract is meant for you to help the grandma and Negusa. So why are you even fighting me, bro? And to my surprise, this man lets the murderer go to go grab up the girl. It's crazy because I was just praising these med J's. I thought they looked mad cool. Now, fuck them. Mad sus. Who are these guys even? I don't trust them a bit. So Negus is trying to stand up to this guy, but he can't do shit, bro. But while he's arguing with the guy, Grandma does a sneaky move and just changes the contract real quick. And she puts Subira's name on it. So now everything's okay because, you know, she's on the contract now. So he can't do anything to them, right? Nah, bro. This man is pissed. He was having a grand old time. He was looking forward to killing somebody. Now you're saying he can't? Man's is angry as fuck. So he yokes up the grandma using some rock snake. And he's like, all right, since you want to fuck around, I'ma kill your grandma. Never did I think I would say that in a video. Never. So Negus starts screaming, trying to get his grandma out of it. And then we find out that the grandma took her name off to save Subira. So since Negus can't really do shit, he's like, stop, why are you doing this? Like, what's good with you? And my man looks him in the face and dead says, cause I can, bro. This man is next level. He's basically Frieza. So my man Negus is on his knees begging him, please do not kill my grandma. Meanwhile, the grandma looks at Negus and she tries to give him a heartfelt speech, you know, saying, yo, I love you, bro. You my grandson. I will always love you. You are strong. It's gonna be okay. But before she can do it, my man crushes the grandma and dead says, and I quote, can't have that. No heartfelt speeches in here. Bro, I'm sorry. Some people may not feel good about this, but this villain just became goated. How you gonna say, welp, can't have that to some grandma saying her final words to her grandson? It's like it all came full circle. I always said that, and now it's coming in a comic in the craziest moment ever. And the Med J's are just watching this happen. Yo, I understand that maybe their job, it doesn't allow them to do anything in this point, but deadass, fuck y'all, bro. And then my man starts laughing at Negus and being like, this is your fault for being born a weak ass gifted user. Like, you're trash. This is what you get for being trash. So then Negus loses it, bro. He starts powering up. You see his eyes lighting up, right? Then the murderer looks at his eyes and is like, hold up. If those eyes are like that, then that must mean the rumors are true. She is dead. So then my brain exploded with theories. Now I'm thinking that the gift being bestowed upon them is gained from another person who had the gift before, and then that just keeps on trickling back and back more into history. Maybe this power was given to him by somebody really important. Maybe this power was given to him by one of the godlike figures, similar to the ones we saw in the beginning of the comic. I don't know. These are just random ass theories I'm having. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it. I'm curious. Maybe we could all just theorize about this shit together. But Negus's hands ignite. He's about to fight this murderer dude, which is not a good idea because I know he's ready to kill somebody else. He's down for it, bro. So Purple Lance guy, who we find out his name is Audric, runs in and stops him. So then Negus starts snapping at him. He's like, bro, you just watched my grandma die. Don't fucking touch me. But while they're arguing, murderer dude opens a portal to leave. And before he leaves them with this name, Ikinachi. So you already know a big part of the protagonist's mission in life is gonna be to kill this dude. With that, Negus completely snaps because not only is his grandma dead, but the murderer is gone and he has no idea where he is. Before he loses it too much, Audric knocks him out. And to find out what happens next, you already know what I'm gonna say. You gotta read the comic for yourself. Gonna be honest with you guys, I'm really hyped to see how the story turns out. I think the whole theme having to do with false prophets is gonna lead to a lot of dope story arcs. And the mystery of why NCG users are being treated like pariahs is also making me want to read more. One thing I will say is that I'm not a huge fan of the soft tone that the comic book takes, mainly because of my own biases. But after the first few panels, I quickly got over it, and it allows for a lot of scenes to just look really beautiful. With that, let me know how you guys feel about the comic in the comments below. If you want to read it yourself, the link is going to be in the description as well as in the pinned comment below. Once again, huge shout out to Alexander for hitting me up and sharing their work with me. I really appreciate it. If you want to watch more of me, there should be more videos on the screen for you to click on. You can subscribe by either clicking right on my face or somewhere around here. And with that, be easy, stay lit, stay healthy out there, Black Lives Matter, and don't forget, you can do whatever the hell you put your mind to. All it takes is practice and time. Peace out, y'all.